What's up, guys? Jordy here from Savage Archers and Bill's Bait and Tackle. And today we're gonna show you how to fletch up an arrow. So these guys have already shaved them down pretty good. I gave them a bit of a wipe with an alcohol swab and I've let them dry, so they're super smooth. We're gonna get down to it. Really simple. It's a good way to save a couple bucks. So what you're gonna need are whatever veins you're shooting. I shoot blazers. I like Pink Tiger. Helps me find them if I lose them or if I shoot an animal. I like to use Loctite. I know people have an issue with it damaging carbon, but you know what? I'm shooting full metal jackets with the metal and I've never had an issue with carbon in them. So we got our fletching jig. What we're gonna do is, I've got a spot lined up on here with a little piece of white out there, a little dot, and that's where I know to line my veins up. So I line my veins up just on there, nice and lined up. Now I'm gonna take my Loctite, and you don't need a lot. You need just like a little bead and just spread it down. So I'm gonna very carefully spread just a tiny bit right in the crevice there of that vein and just kind of slowly work my way down there. Okay, now super simple. I'll turn this my way, or I'll turn it towards you guys. It's all set up, knocks in there lined up. I'm just gonna slowly slide this down on here. It's kind of funny because I'm doing it the opposite way. Tiny bit of pressure. Let it sit for about 5 seconds or so. Let the Loctite kind of settle in there. And then you're gonna carefully open up your jig. Slide it up. It's ready to go. Now what I do as another way to kind of keep my fletchings intact, especially 3D, they take quite a beating. Or if you're stacking arrows trying to get a grouping, is I'll put a tiny, and I mean a tiny bead just on the end there. Here we go. Oh, I can't get it in the right spot. There we go. And then a tiny bead on the front there as well. What that does is just kind of helps them stay in one spot, because usually when they come off you get a kind of a little nick on the top or the bottom, and then the whole thing starts to run. So now you've done that, you're just going to simply pull the jig out as so, twist it, and it'll lock in the right place there. So we're going to repeat that, and it'll give you an idea of how to do this. So it's pretty simple again. Got our fletching lined up in the jig here. Tiny bit of Loctite. Working down in the crevice of that vein or that fletching. Again, just line it up. Make sure your arrow is knocked in all the way, or they'll be pretty uneven, as I almost just bumped it out there. And then slowly push her down, little tiny bit of pressure. Let it sit for 5 to 10 seconds. Usually you don't have to push down on it. This thing will have enough force, especially with Loctite. It dries really fast. So again, you're gonna carefully open it up, slide it up. Looks good. Just gonna put a bead on the back and the front side. This is not going to affect your arrow flight, I don't think, unless you're a professional shooter. And that's it. Simple as that. Again, you rotate, glue in the next one, which I'm not going to do that because it kind of gives you guys an idea of how to do it. So simple as that. Save yourself a couple bucks. Come pick up some fletchings, blazers, whatever you shoot, jig, and we'll show you how to do it right here. Stay savage, but stay safe.